keer, ze lopen recht vooruit. Dat zou ik ook even
Well, first of all, I would like to say hello to all the competitors over here, and the families and friends, and of course the audience. Just Sam already told you, I've been competing at 9 European championships from ponies, juniors and young riders. And when I walk around over here, I recognize the feelings you must have. The feeling to compete with your country, but of course also a little bit of tension before everything starts. And of course, when you're ready with your junior and young rider's career, I hope that you also compete in the Grand Prix arena. And that's why I would like to tell you something about the Grand Prix level and a bit of the training, and afterwards I would like to show you my freestyle. Well, first of all, to introduce my horse. This is Kigali. His father is from Wolfgang. He is a breeding stallion at the KWPN, which also gave the show just before. And he's already 17 years old. He was a jumper before, and when he was 6 years old, he was world champion in jumping. And only at 12 years old, he became a dressage horse. So actually he's only 5. But he learned very quick all the dressage movements and exercises. And now at 17 he's very fit and he likes to do all the exercises. Normally at daily training we also start with 10 minutes of walk, and I let my horse down like this, a bit of a longer range, and I try that he's walking very big steps. I try that the neck is a little bit longer and the nose is in the front. In this way I can already feel how the walk is, how he is today, if he's tense or relaxed. And I can see it on the ears and I can see it on the head. And when I've walked about 10 minutes, then I will start with my harmonica. So I make the transition to the trot now. And I will do some rising trot. I will have the neck a bit lower in the training position. And I try that the muscles on top of the neck, these muscles over here, are working. And the muscles under the neck are loose. This is what I try to do in the beginning with the exercise, and also later when I'm doing my exercise. So now I'm riding on the circle, and always if it's a young horse or it's a Grand Prix horse, doesn't matter, I have to think that the horse is straight, that the hind legs are following the front legs, and that I have my correct flexion and bending. It's always very important. Also very important is that I go from the right to the left, always change hands to see if the movements are on both sides the same and if he's loose on both sides. If I have the feeling, I will start immediately to ride some transitions. First walk trot. I always use my voice a little bit, and then trot. And he has to react on my leg immediately. And again, walk, and trot. This is already very important to see how the reactions of the horse are. And also to see if he's coming not any deeper or longer in the neck. He has to stay the same in the same position. Well, when I did a couple of those transitions, I also can ride some transitions in the trot. Sometimes I make a half halt and get a little back, and then forward again. And back, and forward again. And what I try is that the reaction comes from the hind leg. And forward, and back. Yeah. In this way I already worked a little bit on the impulsion of the trot. When the trot feels okay, I will make a transition to the canter. Before that I will sit down, make a half halt and give my 8. very important to all the horses is to give your aids always in the same way. In that way, the horses know what you need and they're not confused. Also, with the canter, I do the same. Sometimes I look back and I will collect them already a little bit, getting on the hind legs, and then forward. Really, really forward. And back again. And of course, in the beginning, when we started training, we also play a little bit. I will sit forward, like really forward. And back again.
Mag ik even een foto van jullie maken?
Now I can try to really stretch the neck as much as possible. All the positions have to be possible. That's the most important. It doesn't matter what you do all the time, as long as everything is possible. And back to try. If I want to, it should be really long with the nose through the sack. That way I don't need my brain. I can give it away, and you will go in the same rhythm mark. And then walk. How long the warming up is going to take, it will depend on how he is on that particular day. Sometimes I will need 15 minutes, sometimes I will need half an hour. It just depends on how my horse is, and if he's not ready, if he's not loose enough, I'm not able to ride any exercise, so it's no use to stop with the warming up then. It's better to get back to the basics, back to the exercises, back to the transitions, and when that's okay, then I start with my exercises. But because I want to ride my freestyle, I just want to do everything a little bit and see how we do it in the warming up. I will start with him in the canter work. Of course, everybody does it different. Some people start in trot, some people start in canter, and it also sometimes depends on which horse. Before I will start with my half passes, I have to see if my canter is okay, if he has the right jump, the 3 beats, if he's active enough. And then before I start with my half pass, I will flex him a little to the right, only the head, and see if the leg stays just straight on the track. And he has to go on. He has to think forward always. And the next time, when he stays on the track, then I can start with my half pass. And sometimes I can go a little lower again. So now a little flexion. And then I start front leg first. I have to go where I'm going, and he also. And then we have to keep activity till the end. Good. More right change. Good so. And of course the same to the left. First a bit of flexion. See if the hind legs and front legs on the track. And as soon as he wants to go to the inside, before I say it, I won't do my exercise. I just start a little later. And I also can do in my exercises some changes in the rhythm. Sometimes a bit more forward and sometimes a bit more back. This also is from great importance to the concentration of the horse. The back and forward. Come on. And back. And forward. Good so. Actually the horse never should know what the next step of the rider would be. And he should never do something what you didn't ask for. And sometimes he does.